Time to stock up on spangles and get out your space hopper. Psycho Hopper is a 1989 game from Mastertronic, budget priced $2.99. Starting off on the C64, there's a plot to the game that, well, apparently on holiday on Dream World, and you suddenly find yourself on top of a ball inflated with poison gas, and you have to bounce around and collect treasure. Anyway, it's a space hopper. And off we go on level 1. And you bounce around by holding the joystick up to make yourself bounce higher and collecting the treasure. Just got a bit of treasure just now there, and it looks like the top of a toilet. And if you're a regular viewer of ChinnyVision, you will know my love of games where you bounce around, and that's why I've never reviewed Whizball. And I know you can solve that problem in Whizball by using the power-ups to upgrade so you don't need to bounce. But yeah, it's something I've always found particularly irritating. There's lightning. Oh, it's a dead end there. Lightning flashing. And a nice tune in the background. Bats flying around. It's kind of your standard budget fare, isn't it? Over to the Amstrad. Get ready. And it's looking similar to the C64, apart from obviously the lack of hardware scrolling. I'm just trying to bounce around here and get over there. Can I get over there? No. The bouncing can be quite fiddly. To overcome certain obstacles, you have to work out how you're going to do it. I don't think that's going to work, is it? No. Lower bounces and then try get it. It's sometimes it's kind of, I know it's not luck, but it feels like luck sometimes. That's clearly lightning supposed to be happening, but it actually looks like some kind of weird glitch on the Amstrad. Oh no, I didn't get over. Bounce lower. Come on. Finally, I afforded it, and finally, right, that's the first bit of treasure there. Looks like a head. Not particularly good treasure if it's a head, perhaps it's some kind of crystal skull like Indiana Jones went after. Spectrum version, it's 48K only. Prepare for level 1. And as you can see, slightly different layout to the C64 and Amstrad versions. Because you've got this much smaller area. You can see a diamond there. So that is something that's definitely treasure. So we have to collect presumably 3 or 4 diamonds, probably 4. Surprising again with some of these Mastertronic games, 1989, no 128K music. Just little bounces along there. One of those strange clocks that doesn't relate to real time. What are these things? Gnomes? Elves? They constantly spawn and drain your energy, so you have to watch out for that. Forwarded it on. Should be near the end of the level. I now have 3 diamonds. I think I need to get 1 more. There's something about this Spectrum version. It's just, oh, what's that going on there? Oh, lucky not to touch that. Right, that's the 4th diamond. Prepare for level 2. And off we go again. C64 version, end of the level. I have infinite energy, so no problem there with old Skeletor popping up. Oh, I've missed part of my treasure. It's a goblet. Where have I missed? I have to go and find that. So I need to go up there. Let's get that bouncing there. You have to build up momentum with the bouncing, which, yeah, it's a strange old mechanic for a game, really. You can see why it's not really being used by anyone else travelling around on a space hopper. That's my goblet complete. Level 2 on the Amstrad. Oh, so it's skulls again on the Amstrad. I know that because I can see what... It's either... Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, why are we collecting diamonds on the Spectrum, skulls on the Amstrad, and goblets on the C64? I was honestly expecting the Spectrum and Amstrad versions to be close, but they've done a proper job here on the CPC. There's another piece of skull. There we go. Oh, what's going on down here? Oh. Yeah. I've got a feeling spikes are rather lethal for space hoppers. While I'm bouncing along here, remember to check out the ChinnyVision podcast. Just type in ChinnyVision podcast to Google and you should be able to pick it up on your pod device of choice. It's only very occasional, roughly once a month, or 4 to 6 weeks. And I speak to people about their experiences of using computers. Here we are on the C64, and a different colour scheme on this level. All very blue, looking rather nice. Oh, and I'm on the 64 on level 2. I'm also collecting a skull. It's a skull.
It's a skull. It's a skull. It's a skull. It's a skull. I'm scared. It's a skull.
Right, I've got to farm my way through that. It's such a peculiar game. It's one of those. It feels like it's from one of those earlier eras where people were experimenting with stuff, and it's quite nice. I'm not complaining at all. It's just how do you sit down and work out? Yeah, what we're going to do is a kind of Ghosts and Goblins game, but you're on a space hopper. Which just, yeah. I love that. I love that someone just, yeah, came up with that. There we go. That's level 2 completed on the 64. I have the skull. Level 2 on the Spectrum. I've got... It's weird. The Spectrum version feels so lethargic as well. And slow. I need to get up there. Come on. Oh. Alright, so that's my 3rd diamond on level 2 on the Specky. So yeah, I must be near the end of the level. That weird scrolling on the ground there makes you look like you're going faster than you are. Because it's really slow. Alright, there's Skeletor again. Now, look how high that diamond is. Shall we try and get it? My colour clash can just about brush it there. But I can tell you, I will never, ever reach that. It's a bug. this is how far you can get in Psycho Hopper on the Spectrum, because you can never reach that diamond, and the only way to be able to reach that diamond is to poke the game. And the Spectrum Computing has the pokes you need to do that. However, even if you get this far and get past that, and we're over to the CPC now, there is another bug where if you have the audio off on level 4, the game will crash again. Yeah. So it's a bit bugged on the Specky. So this is level 3 on the Amstrad now. Same colour scheme on every level on the CPC, unlike the C64, which is a shame because the CPC is quite capable of, or more than capable, having a different palette for every level. There's some nice details in the background there. Oh! I genuinely thought twice I was going to fall through the gaps there. No, oh, there we go. And it's a shame the bats are the same colour as the trees on this level. Actually, on the early levels as well. You want them to stand out a little bit more. That lightning effect doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I genuinely thought, until I saw the C64 version, the game was glitching. Forwarded it on. As we come to the end of level 3. Don't have to worry about him. I've got infinite lives. The game has fairly generous restart points on the CPC and C64 and not on the Spectrum. More often than not, you're chucked back absolutely miles. And level 4. And level 4 on the CPC appears to be the same as level 1. Is it wrapped round already? Level 3 on the 64. So that's some kind of dagger I have to collect there. And again, another colour scheme, green this time. Green is the colour for levels. Need to shoot my way through that gate. It's jolly fun. It really is. It's not. There is nothing particularly special about this. But if you paid your $2.99, you'd be going, actually, this is all right. Oh, especially compared to some of the other Mastertronic budget fare by this period, 1989, with their poor collection of re-releases, mainly from people like Dynamic, and a lot of just very poor games compared to their competitors. So that's on to level 4 on the 64. Purple. Oh, bounce, bounce. As the goodies once said, let's all do the bounce. Psycho Hopper is the very definition of a budget game. Inconsequential, slightly nuts, but fun. And it kind of just ticks those boxes really well. It's nuts because who on earth comes up with the idea of a Ghost and Goblin style game, but on a space hopper? It's inconsequential because there's not a lot to it, but it's put together rather well, at least on the Amstrad and the C64. No, I don't like bouncing mechanics, but it kind of works here. It can be a bit fiddly, but eventually you work out what you need to do. Graphically on C64 and Amstrad, it looks good, and it has good sound as well. The letdown is the Spectrum version, which is slow, 48K, so no music, and it just lacks those other systems. It lacks the polish. It lacks the gameplay as well, to be honest. And that's before we even get to the game-breaking bug in the Spectrum version. We can't reach that diamond on level 2. And I know people are saying in the comments, oh, Chinny, you were doing it wrong. Please go and look at Spectrum Computing. It details the bugs in this game in a lot of detail. It's not just that. There's also a glitch on level 4 as well. On the C64 and Amstrad, this is quite a good little budget game in an era where Mastertronic have all but given up. With the bouncing mechanic, what would have been a very poor Ghost and Goblins clone actually works out as something quite unique.